Hi, thanks for joining us on the Joy Business Report. Coming up, Ghana to go through first IMF program review in November this year. We have details on some targets the country should meet by June ending to secure second tranche of funds. Also, Ghana Hotels Association unhappy with decision by Public Utilities and Regulatory Commission to increase water tariffs by 150% despite appeals to review the tariff structure. Also, some oil marketing companies and bulk oil distributors back out of government's Gold for Oil program. Details coming up. Thanks for joining us, everyone. My name is Darryl Kwao. Ghana's program with the IMF is expected to be formally reviewed in November this year. This was captured in a document giving more details about the country's program with the fund. But what are the key targets that should be met by end of this year? George Raffe has details.
The November 1 date will be the first review after Ghana's program was approved in May this year. The assessment is crucial because it will influence the next disbursement of $600 million to Ghana. This will happen after the IMF board approves the staff report that will be tabled for consideration. However, if government fails to meet those quantitative and structural reforms, then Ghana will not get the second tranche of funds. But what are some of the targets that Ghana should meet? Well, by the end of this month, government should have finalized plans to clear all the payables due the ministries, departments and agencies, as well as lay out plans to reduce future accumulation. They should also finalize a strategy that will strengthen the financial sector and rebuild buffers. Managers of the economy should also publish an updated energy sector recovery plan which seeks to remove all subsidies and improve operational performance of the state-owned enterprises. There are other quantitative reforms that Ghana must meet by the end of this month. The November 1 program review is also very important because it could trigger fresh funding from other donors and development partners like the World Bank.
George Raffe with the details on key IMF program targets that should be met by the end of this month. In a related development, the IMF mission is expected in town today for its week-long stakeholder engagement. The fund will use the visit to also track progress of Ghana's program. The visit will be led by Mission Chief Stefan Hode. Now, the Ghana Hotels Association is accusing the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission of acting in bad faith after categorizing them under commercial users in its latest water billing structure. They argued that the PRC ignored their concerns after engagements to review high water tariffs imposed on hotel managers. The PRC has increased water tariffs for commercial use by 150%. Speaking to Joy Business, President of the association, Dr. Edward Akanyamike Jr., warned that the latest move by the regulator could increase cost of hotel operations in the country.
To say the least, it's a betrayal from the PULC. It's a massive betrayal from the PULC. And I'm surprised that nobody is calling the PULC to order. We have various sector ministers whose players are going to be affected by this. So as we speak now, it means that the PULC now has categorized us with other organizations under what they call the commercial category. And it also means that now our rate has been increased by almost 150%, and we are supposed to pay this. How are we supposed to survive this? Because at the end of the day, if we don't do those adjustments, it means that we are going to get out of business. We will still find a way to petition the PULC because this is just unacceptable. So we'll find a way to petition them again. But in the meantime, it will mean that prices at hotels will have to adjust to this new unfortunate rate that PULC is forcing down our neck.
That was President of the Ghana Hotels Association, Dr. Edward Akanyamike Jr. Some oil marketing companies and bulk oil distributors have backed out of government's Gold for Oil program. The program, which took off in January this year, is aimed at reducing fuel prices at the pumps. The country took its first consignment of 40,000 metric tons for onward supply to oil companies and used gold and cash to buy finished products for the market. But Chief Executive of the Chamber, Dr. Patrick Kufuori, says some of the oil firms withdrew from the program due to unresolved concerns.
When you check the number of BDCs when it came in were higher, but gradually that was due to the exigencies of the time. But currently, as we are speaking, most of the dominant BDCs that can confidently say that partook in the first cargo that were already trading with BOS previously have now referenced their business interest because they also think that it makes it a bit cheaper for them to land the product on their own. Another thing was notification from the key off-takers of some of the BDCs, Total and Shell, coming out openly to say that they don't want to have anything to do with the G4O, which then means that if I'm a major supplier to these two, I need to look at another country of origin for the products that I'm supplying.
You had Dr. Patrick Kweku-Ofori. Now, for decades in Ghana, seedlings of cocoa, rubber and other tree crops have been raised using topsoil. This destroys the land as a top layer that would have been used for planting is taken for nursery, a very unsustainable practice. But Cocoa Board is seeking to change the narrative as it adopts a soilless growing medium to raise cocoa seedlings at its nurseries across the country. In the following report, Joy Business examines how the product manufactured by a Ghanaian company, Quest Fiber Limited, and partners Atmos Logistics may hold a solution to efforts by Cocoa Board to go green.
Every year, Cocoa Board raises millions of seedlings at its nurseries across Ghana using topsoil. This does not only destroy the environment, it also significantly reduces the survival rate of seedlings. Reverend Ahia Clote is former head of the seed production division of Cocoa Board at the time.
Using topsoil is an environmental hazard. You destroy the environment, you degrade the environment, which is not too good. Yes, it increases erosion. Then scientists all over the world, agriculturists and horticulturists are moving to the use of soilless medium. So it is a worldwide cry against environmental degradation and also the use of soilless medium. So I would strongly recommend that not only Cocoa Board, but NGOs, horticulturists all over Ghana should resort to the use of soilless.
But Cocoa Board is seeking to change this narrative as it introduces a soilless growing medium. This means millions of cocoa seedlings will now be raised without topsoil, but with a medium designed and manufactured in Ghana to replace topsoil. The Miracle Grow potting mix by Ghanaian agri-tech firm Quest Fiber Limited and partners Atmos Logistics is fortified with essential nutrients. This is to ensure cocoa seedlings raised in it is able to go 9 months without additional fertilizer.
The Miracle Grow potting mix is a fortified organic soilless medium. It's a substrate of cocoa peat and other natural substances, aided with a slow release fertilizer that is good for raising all kinds of tree crops, especially cocoa and all other tree crops. The fibrous nature of the product aids root formation, it speeds up the growth of the plants, and is able to retain water.
The Cocoa Research Institute of Cocoa Board discovered in 2021 that cocoa seedlings raised with the soilless medium were far stronger and bigger and had better leaves and stems.
Most of our topsoil, their seed content is so high, the pH level is not conducive enough for raising seedlings. The pH level of the product is solid. It's been tested at the Craig laboratories and it's been certified. If you want to go best practice, it's better you go this way. Now, using topsoil is also harmful to the environment.
The all-inclusive organic substrate is environmentally friendly and is expected to not only reduce the burden of farmers in the search for quality topsoil, but will also boost Ghana's cocoa and tree crop production sector in the long term.
All right, and that was a report on how Cocoa Board is going green as it adopts a soilless growing medium to raise seedlings of cocoa at nurseries across Ghana. Now, time for Investor Eye, and always put in place an investment plan which will allow you to access some of your funds during an emergency. Let's listen to Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Reverend Daniel Ogwami-Tete, as he gives some advice on how to set up an emergency investment fund.
The law specifically states that you have to renew on an annual basis after